Welcome back to the Red Zone Rundown.
Welcome back.
All we do is talk ball here. Getting down to the end of the year here. Obviously, we're going to start with a rundown here of last week of the conference championship games before we get into the doozy of the games, the big old Super Bowl here this week. Let's start it off with the Chiefs-Ravens game. Obviously, the Chiefs could win there 17-10. It felt like a game that the Chiefs could have blew them out really easily in that game.
Yeah, the Chiefs left a lot of points on the board.
Yeah, it felt like the Chiefs let them hang around there, and it kind of felt like the Ravens may have a chance to come back and steal that one at some point. But the Ravens looked pretty piss poor in my opinion there. We'll get into that here in a second though. But Mahomes, obviously, he played well, 241, a tutty. Nothing crazy there, but a very, very Mahomes-esque playoff game there, getting enough to get the W.
Gets it done.
Yeah, he wins in winning time for sure. Pacheco goes for 68, a touchdown.
24 carries. 24 carries.
Yeah, 24 carries. I like to see that. I like to see them get in the rock. The yards per carry is not quite where I'd like to see that, but he still was effective on the ground for sure. Definitely made him at least respect that, as well as towards the end of the game, they're eating up drives and times and
their time of possession was pretty crazy. I mean, even if you just look at the stats across the board, I mean, Mahomes threw the ball 39 times, and they ran them. Just Pacheco ran the ball 24 times. I mean, they had a lot of snaps. They did. Snaps on offense.
Yeah, they put a lot of offense in that game. Obviously, helped with some turnovers there by the Ravens. Yeah. I thought Travis Kelce in the first half was a fucking monster. Yeah. He ended up going 11 for 146, two tutties in that game. I'm sorry, one tutty and had those two insane drag catches, the one from the touchdown and that one on that fourth down play, which he did come out and say he ran the wrong route. And he's like, oh, shit, I got to go make a play for my boy. So he had like 9 for like 96 or something at halftime. He did slow down a little bit in the second half, but didn't really need to do more than what he did. He had a hell of a game. Rasheed Rice, had 8 catches, 46 yards. So he had a solid game there. Not a whole lot of yards, but he was catching the ball.
Yeah, he's definitely catching the ball. That's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing for that team.
Oh,
as long as they're catching the ball, they can make something happen. I saw this week that Kadarius Toney said when he gets the ball, he can definitely be a number 1 receiver. So I saw a bunch of videos of him dropping the ball. So
did you see his rant that he came out with this week? He said he's not hurt and it's all a big lie, essentially saying that the Chiefs asked him to leave the team. It seems like, which kind of makes sense to some extent. Yeah, he had a big rant there on. I believe it was on X, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Twitter or whatever the hell you call it.
Don't call it X. We don't call it X. It's Twitter.
I don't know. I'm an Elon Musk guy, so if he wants to call it X, I'll call it whatever the hell he wants to call it.
Here we go.
MSB, obviously 2 catches, 38 yards, very MSB-esque game.
Yeah.
So for me, the biggest thing I thought, though, Linus Snead played really well in that game, and then obviously he gives up the one big catch there to Zay Flowers, and Zay Flowers hits him with a taunt. Clearly a taunt. Ravens fans, clearly a fucking taunt.
That couldn't have backfired any worse.
Yeah, Karma came back for him real quick on that one.
Wow, Taylor Swift brought the karma out. Just fucking, it killed him. I mean, that had to have been the game, right? Like, that happens.
It was definitely.
And then he goes to score the touchdown, and Snead, of course, is the one that knocks the ball out and gets the ball back.
Came full circle there. Obviously, Snead gives up a big catch, and Zay decides to. I honestly don't think the standing over him was the penalty. I think he hit him with the ball.
Yeah.
And I think, at that point, it's cut.
He did enough for a taunting penalty.
Yeah,
Ravens fans are going to cry about anything.
That's true. I thought it was a pretty decently ref game there. In all honesty, obviously the Chiefs had the long touchdown. Yeah. That was Steve Rice that caught that one. The long touchdown they took to the house.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think that was Rice on that one. Obviously, they called that back on a bullshit call, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was the that was the first holding call.
Yeah.
After the first holding call, I remember I was yelling at the TV, "Ball don't lie." Here they're going to score, and then they scored, and then they got another holding call.
Yeah.
So on the same guy.
The same back-to-back calls on him. Yeah, and I don't like the second one. The first one, I could see the first one being a hold. The second
the second
was
one
not
was
a
garbage.
hold.
The second one.
I do think there may have been a block in that back downfield in that place, and maybe it's come back anyway, but block in back was not called. So, We obviously Snead coming up with a big forced fumble there at the goal line. You know, it just kind of came full circle for sure. You know, with both of them players going back at each other, so it's pretty fitting there.
Yeah.
Drew Tranquil, he played well, 8 tackles again, and that guy flies all over the field.
The Chiefs in general, their defense. I mean, Chris Jones said it after they beat Buffalo. They're going to have to stop the run against Baltimore, and they did that. I mean,
Did they stop the run against Baltimore?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
or did Baltimore just not run the ball?
They that too, but they did enough in the beginning of the game to where they didn't run the ball. They put the ball in Lamar's hand. Lamar threw the ball 37 times. I don't remember the last time I saw Lamar throw the ball 37.
It's not a formula for winning.
Lamar was also their leading carrier with 8 carries for 54 yards.
He out-carried the entire team. The whole team had 6 carries for 23 yards outside of Lamar. That's the best running offense.
Well, I guess you're not including the 2 carries that Zay Flowers had for 4 yards.
Yeah, I'm kind of just a running back. The running back room they have there has been highly touted all season, and they touched the ball 6 times.
I mean, Justice Hill caught the ball 4 times for 34 yards, so that helped a little bit.
You got a little bit of production out of that.
They definitely they went away from their identity a little bit, and I think that definitely, if they would have established a run earlier in the game, we might be talking about a different outcome.
Yeah, it wasn't like the Chiefs got up massively where it forced you to throw the ball, and it was just a weird play calling day for the Ravens.
It's like the Chiefs went out and scored right away, and the Ravens just started playing catch up and panicked in the beginning of the game.
Well, yeah, the first started up early though too.
Yeah.
It was,
I mean, first NFL year for Todd Monken playing against the reigning Super Bowl champions. I'm sure there was a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah.
But I mean, he obviously the play calling was very questionable. I think the defense didn't play bad because I mean they played better games, but holding the Chiefs to 17 points in an AFC Championship game, the offense needed to help them out a little bit. But you can definitely tell the defense started to get mad towards the end of the game. Kelsey was definitely in Roquan Smith's head.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, like Roquan Smith, his head was he was exploding, getting dumb penalties.
I thought Lamar looked flustered too.
Yeah.
Like he was not cool and calm and collected. He was very fiery and very animated several times on the.
Yeah, and when the quarterback gets upset and runs off the field, throwing his helmet on the ground, your morale's kind of done.
Yeah,
when your quarterback's giving up, I mean, it really shows a bad message to the whole team.
There's definitely a fine line between passion and frustration, and I definitely think he was way more on the frustration side. But yeah, Lamar, he did have 272 yards passing, had the touchdown, did throw the pick. He had 8 carries for 54 yards as well on the ground. Zay Flowers, outside of the dumb penalty and the bad fumble, played well, I thought. I mean, he had 5 for 114 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The game-changing fumble.
He played great until that until the very end where that was his welcome to the league.
Yeah, for sure.
He definitely, obviously he has a bright future. Like he's explosive. He creates separation. I mean, he gets out in the open field and catches the ball. He showed he can catch the ball. Just rookie mistake there at the end, getting a little too carried away and letting the adrenaline kind of get the best of him, I guess. But he'll learn.
Yeah, I mean it's a long season too for a rookie to get to this point, 100%. And obviously not used to playing that many games. And
he's never been in the situation before. Everything is new to him. Every single game he plays, it's a new week he's never played in.
I definitely think it's definitely a massive hit for the Ravens there. He is definitely their clear number one in a bright spot moving forward with the receiver core that kind of is up in the air a little bit next year to see what maybe shakes out there with Odell.
The Ravens have a decent amount of young guys on the team. Like they got some good on both sides of the ball, explosive young guys on the team. Like I can't say enough about Kyle Hamilton. I mean, Kyle Hamilton is
he's on my list here though.
He's great.
He had 11 tackles in the game. Roquan Smith had 16 tackles. That man is a monster. I still can't believe the Bears let him out of the room.
Top how many linebacker in the league? Top 3? Top 2? Top 1?
He's not 1 for me. Fred Warner's 1 for me. I'm thinking
probably top 3.
Yeah, I think he's top.
At least top 3
for me.
He's probably 2, but he's at least top 3.
Trying to think, just like who would I put ahead of him outside of Fred Warner?
There's not really a whole lot of stud linebackers.
Yeah, I mean Bobby Wagner's starting to decline, so he had a Bobby for me. Yeah, I mean he's probably 2.
Yeah,
I don't think
he's good. He's really good.
I'm trying to make an argument to bump it down.
Yeah.
And I can't find one.
Yeah, the Bears definitely fumbled that one, but I think the Bears have a chance to get some good.
Yeah, the Bears. The future in Chicago is bright in my opinion, and
I agree.
especially if they get a sweetheart deal here for one or whatever. But
I don't know. The more and more I see, it looks like they're going to make that pick. But
I
it's a
think
conversation for another day.
Yeah, we'll get into that probably here in the next couple of weeks there as far as what shakes out there. But I mean, the Chiefs did have 4 sacks as well. The Ravens had 2 in the games, and obviously the Ravens turned the ball over 3 times. It's kind of the difference in the game.
That's gonna have to happen. If Chiefs want to win this week, they're gonna have to do the same thing. They're gonna have to get 2 quarterbacks. I believe the Niners have a little bit better of an offensive line than what the Ravens have. Personally, I mean, obviously they have the best left tackle in football, in my opinion. So, I mean, they're going to have to. The young guys on the outside are going to have to get home. Chris Jones is going to have to move men in the middle.
Yeah, he's going to have a monster game. He's going to have to be an MVP running, in my opinion, for the Chiefs to be really in that game.
Yeah, I mean, because as good as the Chiefs' defense has been this year, the Niners can score in bunches, and they have a very, very explosive offense. So they're going to have to get to the quarterback, but obviously the Niners get the ball out so fast. So,
I don't know how much they're going to get home as far as that goes in the pass rush, just because Purdy does get the ball out pretty quick. They run the ball really well in San Francisco, and Shanahan's a hell of a coach. He can scheme that up. Is better than most. So it's kind of one of them deals that we got 2 Titans meeting for in the head coaching world there as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Both of those head coaches are absolutely phenomenal, and honestly probably the 2 best in the league at this point.
Yeah,
I
agree. I mean, I don't know how you can get much better than Andy Reid. I mean, Andy Reid he's the eldest coach in the NFL. Now that Carroll and Bill Belichick are not coaching, but
I still can't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Reid's
he's
Reid's
he's a Hall of Fame. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Andy Reid's great.
And Philly ran him out.
I hope, yeah. For Doug Peterson or no, Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, that's right. And then he freaking ran the team to the freaking ground. So, but Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches of all time. Kyle Shanahan could definitely get there. I mean, he's obviously Kyle Shanahan's 45, if that. I don't even know how old he is.
Yeah. Is that the best coaching family in history? Shanahan?
You're talking to a Broncos fan, so I would say yes.
I mean, it'd be tough to say.
He did win us a couple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Old Daddy did win us a couple Super Bowls. So, but yeah, I was sad when I thought I really wanted Shanahan to join the Broncos in 2016 when they hired Vance Joseph instead. But you can't always get for one. I was kind of hoping. I get it where they were going with that. They wanted a guy with a little bit more experience, and they went with Vance Joseph. But I mean, they wanted somebody that was a little bit more experienced. I mean, at that point, Kyle Shanahan didn't. I mean, he was at Super Bowl. I mean, he coached in Super Bowl. Actually, no, this is when they hired Fangio, not Vance Joseph. They hired Fangio. This is after Atlanta was in the Super Bowl, blew the 28-3 lead. Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator for that team under Dan Quinn. But yeah, I mean, I love Shanahan. I wish he would have, but obviously Fangio got that job over him back in 2018. But yeah, I would agree. I would say it's close to it. I mean, there's a couple families you could throw out there. I think the Harbaughs, you kind of have to throw there.
I think it's between them and the Harbaughs.
Yeah, I mean, the Harbaughs. I mean,
they have a third one.
There is a third one. He's a new special teams coordinator for Seattle. Yeah, coming from Michigan. I honestly didn't even realize he was on the Michigan staff.
I didn't. To be 100% honest with you.
Speaking of football families, your doppelganger, old Steve Belichick.
Steve Belichick going to Washington to get absolutely obliterated, in my opinion. Yeah. Have you seen that roster and how decimated it is?
Yeah.
They have 2 returning starters.
Yeah. I don't even know who took that damn job. I don't remember who
Honestly,
took the job.
I don't remember who took it off the top of my head either. But.
Yeah. Let's do a little research here.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. That's a hard job for a new coach coming in.
Yeah, I do kind of want to hit on the coaching carousel here probably next week to kind of do a deep dive into that and just kind of go through the coordinators and things of that nature. A little deeper next week. I think we'll get into that. I think pretty much all the jobs are filled now. Correct?
I believe so. Real quick, the new head coach of the University of Washington, Jed Fish, University of Arizona. be a hard job.
It's a hard job. The board's going to be a hard follow there, and with that roster just being obliterated with obviously guys going pro, and then with the board leaving and everybody leaving in the portal.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator jobs are. I mean, I believe they are all filled now, but I mean,
I thought there was one left. I can't remember who it was.
There was. So I know the Raiders went to hire Cliff Kingsbury, and Cliff Kingsbury said, Josh McDaniels.
He didn't know. Did you see the whole story on that?
No, I saw something about how they never agreed to terms or something.
Yeah, the Raiders were trying to only give him a 2-year deal, which is very fucking weird in the NFL. Like the standard's minimum 3, and he kind of stood on like, I'm not taking less than 2 years.
Yeah,
I don't have an established quarterback here, and,
yeah.
I don't understand Cliff Kingsbury, but that is I want to get real deep into Cliff Kingsbury next week, so I'm gonna save some of that.
I have a lot of questions about that.
I do.
I have a lot of questions
about that. A little teaser. I've never seen a man fail forward as much as that motherfucker has, but he just keeps getting down. Yeah. I want to deep dive him.
Is it because he fits the mold?
I don't know.
He's a young white offensive coordinator, and that's really popular these days.
I feel like he got his start because of Sean McVay, and people were kind of comparing him to that, and he's literally.
Well, I mean, look at when
he's
Sean
had
McVay
Hall of Fame
got hired.
quarterbacks everywhere he's played, essentially. And
that's what I'm saying. Like when Sean McVay, pretty much a lot of these guys that came out of the Kyle Shanahan tree, McVay, McDaniel, Matt LaFleur, like all these guys coming out of that 2013 Washington team. When McVay came out, he had this crazy good offense. Good luck with his offense right away. It made Jared Goff actually go out into a Super Bowl. Like. He was the youngest coach to ever coach in the Super Bowl. And, like, Sean McVay, I mean, because you saw Shanahan, you saw McVay doing it. Like, these guys were doing it, and they were doing it successfully. And that was right around that time where Kingsbury came into the NFL. And everybody's like, hey, this guy, like, it seems like their job interviews were like, are you white? Yes. Do you coach offense? Yes. Are you young? Yes. You're hired.
It does seem like that was a definite trend for sure.
Look around the league. Like, how many coaches in the league are like that now? Like, if that fit that mold.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of guys like that are experienced, like longevity coaches that have been coaching for a long time.
Yeah,
there's not a whole.
I think honestly, a lot of that people are like terrified of established head coaches.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've seen the
thing stuck about, in their ways.
I don't know if you've seen the thing about Vrabel this week that Diana Taurasi literally came out and said that his physical presence scared teams away from him.
I saw one because somebody said he was too big and intimidating.
Yeah, that was Diana Taurasi. She had a report out there that said literally one of an anonymous GM had told him that his physical presence was very intimidating and one of the factors why we did not hire him, which is absurd. But
I guess I'm never getting a head coach now.
He's a big dude. Like he's a build dude for sure.
He's massive.
But let's get back here on the conference round here. Obviously, the second game there with the Lions and Niners. Niners get that 34-31 win.
The game that looked like they were giving away. The Lions came out absolutely guns blazing. I mean, a couple plays. Yeah, three plays in, 4 plays in, or whatever, and then Jameson Williams getting a long touchdown there to open the game. Dan Campbell's fired up. The team's fired up. The Detroit fans that traveled to San Francisco, they're fired up. And then, like you said, tail of two halves. The second half comes out. I think the score was what? 24-7?
24-7.
24-7?
Yep.
Yeah. And the Niners came alive. I mean, the Niners defense didn't play Niners football the first half.
No,
they came out really explosive. And then second half, Steve Wilkes got the guys, got them contained, got the Lions offense slowed down a little bit, and the offense was able to score the points to get the job done.
Yeah, obviously we watched that game together, and we left at halftime. And by the time I got home, which not a far drive for the record, 15 minutes maybe, I got home and it was 24-17. I'm like, what the hell happened? Like we drove home and got in the house and turned the game on. I'm like,
what the fuck
happened?
Yeah.
So I had to go back and watch the recap there. I was like, what the hell?
Well, Niners get the ball at halftime. They score.
You got the field goal and then got the touchdown after that.
Couple turnovers. I mean, obviously the turnovers killed the Lions in the second half.
Yeah.
The Lions don't turn the ball over. Obviously we're talking about the first game. It's a different outcome.
It is.
Jameer Gibbs puts the ball on the ground. You got I forget what the other one was. There was another turnover in that game. This is what we get for not talking about this a couple days after the game.
Yeah, we
wait a week. We wait a week. We start trying to reminisce. But I mean, the Lions. I mean, they did what they needed to do on offense. They just couple turnovers there in the second half, and then the Lions' defense hasn't been their strong suit all season, but
they need to address that this offseason.
Absolutely,
to really be legitimate.
Absolutely. I think a couple of needs you're looking at in the Lions room is obviously defense. Defense is going to be a majority of your picks in the draft, and they're going to have to go out and get themselves another receiver because Josh Reynolds. Honestly, I mean we can play this game of what ifs for this game. Josh Reynolds had 2 massive drops.
Yeah. He did.
I mean, a 4th down conversion. I mean, we all know our boy DC likes to go for it on 4th down. And he got
balls are too big for his own.
He got heavily ridiculed for going for it too much in this game and not taking the points. Obviously, there's 2 times he could have kicked the field goal and did. Actually, more than that, but other times it worked out.
Two easily made field goals.
Yeah, but 2 that ended up going the other direction where they turned the ball over instead. I mean, there was other ones like they went for it on 4th down at the goal line, but they ended up scoring. But here, I mean, like there was one where it was like 4th and 3, I think it was. Yeah. They threw the ball over the middle of Josh Reynolds. Fucking drops it. Yeah. There was another one they threw to Josh Reynolds. I believe it was on a long 3rd down. The ball was low. I will say the ball was low. It's a catchable ball in the NFL. In that game, in that situation, you have to make that catch.
In that circumstance, in the conference finals, you gotta catch that ball.
Yeah. And I mean, and Josh Reynolds finished the game with just 1 catch. Was targeted a lot more than that. So I mean, he makes his catches. We could be looking at a different game. But Sam Laporta played very well. He pretty much catches everything his way. I forget when I saw something the other day. He was one of the first rookie tight end to finish tight end 1 to end the season
in fantasy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I see somebody had posted something on one of the sites that it's like who would you take for your tight end for the next 10 years? And Porter's name wasn't even on it. I immediately jumped in comments like the only option.
Kyle Pitts.
There was a bunch of them. There was Pitts, Travis Kelce was on there. Mark Andrews was on.
Travis Kelce's not playing the next 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
Travis Kelce probably got a solid 3 or 4 years left.
Yeah, if that, depending on how he wants to go out.
Maybe he wants to ride off into the sunset and watch concerts for the rest of his life or something.
There's like 7 or 8 of them. There was like 7 or 8 people listed on this list, and Sam Laporta was not on it. Didn't make any sense, but I digress.
I do believe the Lions could benefit from another strong weapon on offense. I mean, obviously the running backs they got it figured out. The offensive line they got it figured out. I don't know if Montgomery's a free agent this year. That would be a good keep to keep him around because he's their bruiser. He's their guy that gets their carries that are kind of saving Gibbs a little bit, so Gibbs doesn't have to take on those 3rd and shorts, those 2nd and shorts to get the first downs and take the hits. Like you're going to take the hit. Yeah, Gibbs is the guy they want to keep fresh.
Yeah, he had 93 and a tutty.
Yeah, 15 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown. Gibbs had 12 for 45 and a touchdown. But then Gibbs is explosive in the pass game. Obviously, Gibbs didn't have a huge receiving game. He caught 3 passes for 11 yards. But it's not a whole lot. And then Montgomery was actually been coming around in the pass game a little bit. He had 2 catches for 20 yards. He's their check down guy. The guy that they don't imagine to catch the ball.
Montgomery's been a 3-down back before.
Yeah.
When he was with the Bears, he was their really only offensive off.
And I think him going to the Lions definitely elongates his career because he's not getting all the carries there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be good. He's a good fit there, and I think it'd be good for him.
Very
to stay
Jamal
there.
Williams. Jamal Williams left.
Absolutely. I mean, but then he took over Jamal Williams' production.
Yeah.
I mean,
he took over his role.
Yeah. Sure. He had a lot of. I forget how many touchdowns he had this year, but he had a lot of touchdowns. But yeah, I think that offense. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We all know. I mean, we can't speak enough about him. The dude's creates separation. He's super quick. His feet are like quick as a hiccup. But they could definitely benefit on having another guy, another stud receiver. That's not like I know they had Jameson Williams. Who knows if he turns into something? I know he's a deep threat.
I still like him. I still think he could be a dynamic slot receiver. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between him and Devontae Smith at this point, other than a couple injuries and opportunity, really. But when he touches the ball, obviously that 42-yard run, when he took the house, he was dynamic on that.
Yeah.
But he only had 2 catches for 25 yards in that. He seems to make a big play a game. They got to find a role for him in that offense. Obviously, he missed the first part of the season there with the suspension. But I do think there's still a route for Jameson Williams to be that third option, that slot guy for him. I do agree they probably do need one more outside guy.
I would like to see them get like a bigger guy that can go up and get the ball. Like somebody, like I know if you're looking for guys that might be available, somebody like Mike Evans might be available. Mickey, fantastic there. T. Higgins would fit good there.
T. Higgins will have a lot of money.
Cortland Sutton probably be available in trade block. Somebody like him might be a little bit cheaper than going for somebody like Mike Evans or somebody like that. Cortland Sutton can go up and get the ball. You got guys like that, like I said, Evans, T. Higgins, but
it's a deep receiver class too, so they could look in the second round there and possibly get that guy.
Somebody decent.
I think in the first round there's no chance in hell they don't take corner.
Yeah, you have to take a corner.
Unless something crazy happens.
You have to hope that one of the guys from Alabama falls to you. That's.
We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that a little later.
Like, I think you can kind of know where I'm going with this, but
I do.
Yeah.
This is a very, very deep cornerback.
It is. When I show you my number 10, it's going to be crazy because this number 10 could easily be a first round pick, in my opinion. My number 10. We're going to get into this, but my number 10 could very easily be a first round pick.
I love there's honestly I almost wanted to text you like, can we go like 15?
Yeah,
because there's guys I'm trying to find a way to get in here, and I just couldn't do it. Let's get into the Niners there. Obviously, Purdy goes for 267 and a touchdown, threw that pick. Did have 40 yards on the ground, which was.
He's been running a lot more.
Yeah,
he's been running a lot more, and he's showing like in that game, like he made the plays when he needed to, but he didn't do it with his arm. He did it with his legs. He made some good throws. He made some really good throws, and
he's
but
sneaky
he didn't. He didn't have to make the like Detroit's giving him 20 fucking yards to run the ball.
Take it,
run the ball. He's smart. And everybody's like, oh my God, Brock Purdy's a game manager. He does this, he does that. Well, guess what? He's playing in the fucking Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck what he is.
Yep.
He gets the play. I don't care if it's his arm or his legs. He gets the damn play when it needs.
Can't afford to buy a suite.
No. The suites cost more in this Super Bowl than his freaking annual salary.
It's crazy.
That is absolutely insane. The York family better be comping a suite for his family.
I would hope so.
I would sure hope. But, 10 seats for Purdy's family, 10 seats for McCaffrey's family. Let them in. That's your two big guys to get them in there. Get the McCaffrey family in there. Get all of his brothers down there. And, that might be a good football family, too, if you're talking about
McCaffrey.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you watched Senior Bowl this weekend, but his brother looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So, and his dad's a former receiver for the Broncos. He was a great receiver. Good football family there. They definitely, the McCaffreys and the Shanahans have the ties. So I think there was no more perfect place for Christian McCaffrey to go.
No, I mean, he was dynamic, but obviously Carolina is the dumpster fire that it is.
Yeah.
Him getting out of there was a godsend to his career, in my opinion. Speaking of, he had 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. They had 4 catches.
I feel like no matter what, Christian McCaffrey always has 90 yards.
You get 90 yards and a couple touchdowns. That seems like a
42.
That seems like a bad McCaffrey day.
Yeah,
which is freaking crazy to say.
Yeah,
that
he had 132 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, slow down.
Yeah, slow day at the office. But
he's a guy that I'm not surprised if he goes for 200 every week. I kind of expect it.
And I mean, they got a couple other guys involved. I mean, nobody had a crazy good day. I mean, if you're looking at his stats across, Deebo Samuel had a good receiving day.
8 for 89.
Yeah,
he had a good day.
Yeah, he had 3
for 68 touchdown.
Yep. And that's a slow Ayuk day for catches. Usually you'll see Ayuk get a couple more catches than that. But Kyle Juszczyk got involved.
Juice had 2 for 33. He was involved for sure.
I'm going to give you my sleeper pick for the Super Bowl. Juszczyk scores a touchdown.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I think this game just screams to me somebody weird is going to score a touchdown. And I can name a couple guys here. Like somebody like Kyle Juszczyk, who obviously might pick to score, the sneaky pick to score. If you're staying on the Niners, Juwan Jennings. I think Juwan Jennings is going to have a good game if these guys want to blow the Chiefs out.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the Chiefs have good corners. They have 2 really good corners. So, Juwan Jennings is going to have to get involved a little bit.
Yeah.
The eyes are going to be on Ayuk and Deebo. So Jennings might be roaming in the middle of the field.
Kittle might be tough for them to cover this week, I think.
But yeah, Juice and Jennings on the Niners. If you're talking Chiefs, I can see somebody like a Justin Watson scoring a touchdown. Noah Gray.
Travis Kelce throwing.
Noah Gray, yeah. Travis Kelce throwing a touchdown. Is that a prop? Is that a prop this year?
There's a non-quarterback.
You hit that last year,
I
didn't
hit
you?
that last year.
Yeah.
I do have it again this year.
I remember
Heavily involved in tails.
heavily involved in tails.
Heavily involved in
How
tails.
much? Very
I'm
heavily.
not telling you that. My wife watches. But yeah, pretty involved in tails.
She
You
won't
hit it
know
on
this.
last year.
She won't know this. Is it this many?
That's close.
Is it this many?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. Got it.
We hit on it last year, so we're gonna let it ride.
I remember how hyped I was when I texted you as that happened because I saw it the whole play. The
Yeah.
whole play, how that as soon as he pitched that ball, I'm like, he's not carrying that ball. He's too deep. And I was like, Bass, he's gonna do it.
He did. It happened. Weird shit like that happens in the Super Bowl. Like, you got nothing to lose. So
The
you
Super
throw out
Bowl,
your
yeah,
trick plays.
you're gonna pull your chick plays out. And I could definitely see like a down on the 5-yard line. You think McCaffrey's getting the ball on like a 3rd down, and Hughes just slips out of the backfield and he's open. He's open in the flat.
Yeah.
I can see it happening. So I think when I was looking online yesterday, and I think the prop for his anytime touchdowns like plus 1,300 or something.
I looked at it last week, and I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty high.
Yeah,
I think I honestly
he's high. His anytime touchdowns high.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
he's a
obviously
fullback.
he's a fullback, but he caught 2 passes for 33 yards this week. Had a hell of a catch on the sideline.
Yeah, he did.
The toe tap
Oh,
catch
yeah,
on
that
the
was
sideline.
Incredible. For
Juszczyk's
a fullback.
the best fullback in football.
Ever.
Probably one of the ever.
I mean,
he had a great career with Baltimore before. It's like he had two different careers.
yeah.
He had a great career with Baltimore, and then he comes to San Francisco, and Shanahan takes the job and has another great career.
Yeah. I gotta walk back my statement there. Mike Allstott was probably the best ever.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry.
John Kuhn's up there.
John Kuhn's up there. But
John Kuhn's up there from Dover.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
From
local.
local. Yep. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys. Like I said, I think somebody weird will get the ball this week. But obviously, the Niners know how to get people involved. They the way Shanahan runs his offense, they know how to get people
He's
involved.
got 2 weeks to prep too, so that goes big.
One very interesting stat I saw in this game. If we're talking about the Niners offense, flip over to the Lions defense. Interesting stat I saw for the game. No tackles for our boy Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, he had 2 pass breakups in. I only have 2 pass breakups. No other stats.
Yeah, I remember seeing the one where he's on Trent Williams, and Trent Williams kind of leaned back a little bit, and Aiden Hutchinson kind of dropped back in the coverage, knocked the ball down.
Yeah, made a great play on that. Yeah, and they broke 2 up, and that was it.
But just wasn't a factor. I mean, obviously, with Williams and McKivitz, they have good tackles.
Yeah, I mean Trent Williams is a monster.
Yeah, I thought the Niners would have a little bit of issue protecting the quarterback when they let McGlinchey walk last year, but obviously I see why they let McGlinchey walk. Like obviously they had somebody that
too. You know what I mean? Like
they get the ball out so fast.
yeah,
how often?
Like back in the day with Brady in New England, like their line wasn't all that great all the time. But they get the ball out so quick.
And if you watch them play, if you watch a whole Niners game and break down the film, which I've done this, like I've watched the games over and over and just kind of watch how like their tendencies and what they do. How many times do the Lions or not the Lions, the Niners run the ball to the left side? You don't see them run the ball to the right side very much. I like watch a Niners game and watch what their running scheme is. McCaffrey is running the ball to the left 80% of his runs.
The crazy thing with the Niners offense is they run so many plays that are very, very look very, very similar, but they're slightly different. They're very nuanced
different motions, different formation, and that's why Shanahan's so good. Shanahan's the best offensive play caller in football, in my opinion. He's the best offensive play caller.
I would agree.
I mean, like if you're just talking strictly play calls, because you got guys like if you're going to talk about Brock Purdy's not Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Brock Purdy runs the system very, very, very well and runs it effectively. Shanahan puts the system in place. If you put somebody else in there running that offense, you're not going to get the same results. Shanahan, the plays he calls, the timing of the plays, the motions, how he can run, I don't know, an ISO, a counter, like how many different formations he can run it out of.
Yeah,
like
they do.
He runs counter left out of so many damn formations and so many damn like he has different audibles and stuff, different motions. So it's just so many different variations.
Yeah, he plays the game very well, and I mean the Shanahan offense has always been tough to defend.
Yeah.
for sure. There, it's
Yeah, and then when you're getting Trent Williams out in space, the corner doesn't stand a chance.
no.
Like,
That's
I'm
a
sorry,
big human.
like he's a big human. He's not much bigger than me. I'm moving out of the way. I'm sorry. I can only imagine how these corners feel.
Yeah.
Like this guy is 300 and something pounds, 6'5", 6'6", whatever, however big he is, running fucking a 4.8 right at you. I think that's probably how quick he is, right?
Oh,
About
yeah.
4.8 or
Yeah,
something.
he moves.
Running fast at you.
He's a mover.
And for his age, like the caliber of play that he still has at his age is absolutely
I
ridiculous.
don't think he's had any drop off. In all honesty, like
No.
he's still the best in the game.
Yeah, he was the best tackle in the league when he got traded.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, back then, Tyron Smith was playing unbelievable back then.
I still would.
But Trent Williams was playing unbelievable when he left Washington.
Yeah.
So, I mean, crazy as that sounds, like he's, 35 and he's still playing fantastic?
Yeah. It doesn't show any signs of wear.
No.
Let's put it that way.
No. And I mean, obviously, like, the style of their offense they run, it helps. I mean, when you're getting the ball out so fast, they run the ball a lot, but obviously he's a really good run blocker.
Yeah, he
But
is.
he's great in the pass game. Best all-around tackle.
All right, let's take a look at the Super Bowl here. Obviously, the Niners are 2-point favorites in this game. The line may have changed. I did look at that last week, so
I think it was 110. I think it was. I think the Chiefs were underdogs. They were plus 110. I think they were getting 2.5 this morning.
Yeah, I think it's two. I think it did look at 2.5. Yeah. We're gonna play.
I know it was 2 last week.
It was 2 last week when I prepped for last week's episode, and we had scheduling conflicts and couldn't get together. Obviously, Travis Kelce bringing a girlfriend there that you could get her to the Super Bowl to maybe go and get in the first ring.
I'm so tired. Like, I love the NFL. I love it. I love football.
Are we gonna do this? All right.
I'm gonna be so fucking glad when I don't have to see Taylor Swift on
She was on the screen
TV.
for 24
I don't
seconds.
give a fuck. I'm trying to watch football. I don't want to fucking see a pop star fucking getting all of her goddamn attention in the fucking skybox. I watched the fucking Grammys the other day, and I can't even listen to fucking Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman freaking kill an unbelievable song together. One of the best performances I've ever seen. And the whole fucking time, I got to see Taylor Swift standing the fuck up singing the song while everybody else politely is sitting down, and she's the only fucking one standing up in the damn crowd. Like, center of a fucking tension much. Her and Brittany Mahomes need to go on a fucking island and stay there.
Yeah.
And far the fuck away.
Your haterade show.
Yeah, 100%. And if I got to hear anything about the family drama of Patrick Mahomes, let the guy play football.
Yeah.
Like, his dad gets arrested.
Yeah, not a good look for the dad.
No, dad gets arrested.
For his
Freaking
third one?
the kid, yeah. He already spent 45 days in jail.
Yeah.
How many
He's
more?
going back,
He's
yeah.
going back. Like, is he even going to be at the Super Bowl? Who knows?
Probably not. I mean, even you're Alabama, you can't do state. So.
Yeah. Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously that's
I feel
terrible.
bad. I feel bad for Mahomes. It's hard to say that I feel bad for Mahomes because he's got the world at his footsteps.
Yeah, and then he has the worst fucking family.
Yeah,
No,
the
man.
family issues that man has to deal with. And
Oh.
he still goes out there and balls out every day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's impressive.
Obviously, he likes it.
He seems to be like he's a pretty down to earth kind of regular dude. He kind of seems like I know a lot of people think he's real cocky, but I don't know. I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I guess a lot of the old.
I like Patrick Mahomes. As a Broncos fan, I like Patrick Mahomes.
That's big.
Love,
That's
I
big
love,
praise.
I love Travis Kelce. I like watching the Chiefs play football, but I cannot root for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I will root for the Chiefs. I hope they do good.
I'm
but
good either way on this one. Like, there's some Super Bowls like I don't want to see this team win. I'm good either way. Like,
there's some Super Bowls I've
both
had
these
where I
teams.
hope both of them lose.
Oh yeah,
Like there's just been Super Bowls where I'm like when the Eagles played the Patriots. I hope they both lose. I hope the fucking stadium catches on fire. Like that's sorry.
I get it.
Like that was probably the last Super Bowl in remembrance where I'm like, I hope they both lose.
I think the last one I think was the Steelers at Arizona. Like I just don't really like either one of them franchises outside of Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I just like Larry.
Yeah. I think anytime the Patriots play in the Super Bowl, I'm just like, I hope they both. I hope they both lose.
Hater.
Yeah. Like that. What Super Bowl was that when they played the Rams? That barn burner, 13
The
to 3.
defensive masterpiece.
My God, that was the worst Super Bowl
I think
ever.
that was one of my favorite ones. I like defensive football though.
Surprisingly, one of my favorite I love Super Bowls that have a lot of offense.
I'm
honestly-
a defensive guy, so I like.
Surprisingly, one of my favorite Super Bowls was one that I was very upset after, and that was 48. when the Seahawks beat the brakes off the Broncos.
Mm.
But
Y'all did
you scored 48 points in a Super Bowl. I mean, it's fun to watch.
Y'all got smoked.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's obviously get into the Super Bowl here. Chiefs -2. I'm sorry, Niners -2. Who you taking?
Taking the Niners.
Taking the Niners.
I think my wife, this is all from my wife right here, I think she would kill me if I didn't take the Niners. So I had to buy my wife a Brock Purdy shirt this week because now my wife has two loves in her life, and neither one of them are me. One is Brock Purdy, and one of them is Joe Shiesty. So she is a very big Joe Burrow fan.
She is a big
but
Joe
now
Burrow
she is a very, I think she's a bigger Brock Purdy fan. I think she likes.
She's louder about Purdy.
She is, and I think the whole thing with Purdy is Purdy's not expecting, like Joe Burrow's the number one pick and had one of the greatest college football seasons of all time. He's supposed to be great.
Yeah. You would.
Brock Purdy played at fucking Iowa State. Was the last pick in the draft.
Became relevant.
Yeah, like the Niners had just traded 3 first-round picks for a guy. They got Jimmy Garoppolo there. They got the guy they just traded 3 first-round picks for, and they got the rookie from Iowa State that they picked in the 7th round, Mr. Irrelevant. And he goes out and just balls out.
Yeah.
And he's been playing great. Obviously, he's the perfect fit. I saw something the other day when Shanahan was getting his media interview, and they were talking about, like, when did you know Brock Purdy was great? And I guess him and Jed York and John Lynch were having a conversation, and Jed York, after they made the Lance trade and everything, this is all after that, Jed York looks at Shanahan and says, that guy looks the best out of all of them. Like, they knew.
Yeah.
And Shanahan's like, yeah, I know. Like, I know he looks the best out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, but in that situation, it's hard.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't make that.
No.
It's
And I mean,
get traded.
I think deep down, Shanahan's like, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. I'm glad Trey got hurt. I'm glad Jimmy got hurt. It all worked out, obviously.
Yeah,
it playing in the Super Bowl. But yeah, give me the Niners. Not just because of my wife. I really think I think the Niners defense is my main decider here. I think both offenses are going to score. I'm taking the Niners. I'll give you a score prediction here.
What's the over on this game?
I think it was 47.5.
Okay, give me your score prediction.
So I'm going to take the Niners. Let's go. I'm going to go 31-21. Niners.
31-21. Double-digit game.
31-21.
Why is it up there? Let me just add this up here. I do want to know what it is. I've gone back and forth on this about 15 times, and I really don't know which way I want to go. There's a reason why I got some money out in the game, but I don't have any. I don't know who wins the game. Yeah. I did stay away from that. The over-under in that game is 47.5.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 47.5 is the over-under. Both of these defenses are so good and playing so well that I honestly think it may be a low-scoring game. 21-17 kind of feels where I'm going here.
I think both offenses are really good at scheming to get guys open and to get. So I don't think the defense is going to be too much of a. I think it's going to come down to what defense makes the stop in the end. But I think in the first half you're going to see a couple bunches of scoring. I think like when you get into the second half, going in the locker room, defenses are going to crack down, kind of like the Niners. Like the Niners will give up a couple touchdowns. I think the Chiefs will give up a couple touchdowns. Into the half, we might see a 14-14 game, and then it cracks down a little bit on one end. But I think the Niners are just too explosive. I think the Niners have the better roster by a mile. Even though the Chiefs have the best player in this generation on their team and playing the most important position, but I don't know. The Niners defense to me just seemed like Chiefs have a big injury. I mean, Joe Tooney's out. Yeah. So, or most likely not going to play, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't seen if they officially rolled him out, but it's not trending super well as far as that goes. But, I've been riding the Chiefs pretty much every week except for last week. I did go against them, and it bit me in the ass there. So I have a hard time picking picking the Chiefs in this one, but I'm gonna go Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs in the points.
Another thing I like about the Chiefs, like this game too, going to the Niners direction. The Chiefs are plus money on the money line. I think people are like, I have the same motto: you never bet against the Chiefs, especially when the Chiefs are underdogs. You never bet against them.
If you're getting points with the Chiefs,
I think the Super Bowl's in Vegas.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of throwing a sign like Vegas is probably going to have a hand at this game. I hate to say it, but the Chiefs getting plus money, a lot of people are going to put money on the Chiefs getting plus money. A lot of people. And I think Vegas is going to win big when the Niners win and Vegas cashes out all them freaking bets that people are placing on the Chiefs. Getting points.
I mean, either way, I'm going to hit because I did have the Chiefs and the Niners as a future. So either one of them will hit.
Winner, chicken dinner.
So that was a perfect case for me. The only better one there, I did have the Bills in there, so if the Bills could have got there, I would have paid a little better. But
my futures suck. My futures were not good.
Nah.
My futures, you want to take a stab at what my futures were? One of my teams didn't even make the playoffs.
The Bengals?
The Bengals was my AFC future.
Okay. So who were you on? I mean, you didn't have the Broncos, did you?
No, the Bengals won the AFC.
Okay, well, I didn't know you would.
Yeah, but I had my Super Bowl future. I had the Bengals versus who? Think of a team that played very well and then just completely shit the bed in the NFC. Like fell off the face of the fucking planet.
I don't know. I got none of that.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. All right.
Played very well and then just completely forgot how to play football.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then they lose to the Buccaneers.
Something happened in that locker room.
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody got caught cheating with somebody's wife or something. Something happened.
AJ Brown's gone. I've been seeing a lot of heat about him not wanting to be there anymore, even though Jalen Hurts is his boy. I don't really understand that. What's going on there? There's something that he seems like
something
a diva.
happened, man. There's no other. I can't justify it in my head outside of something off the field happened in that locker room that just ripped it apart.
Yeah, maybe Jalen Hurts slept with AJ Brown's wife.
Maybe.
Or something. I don't know.
Maybe
It happened. Maybe fucking.
I don't know if they're married.
Somebody ran a train on somebody. I don't
something happened.
It ain't good.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my Super Bowl future pick. I also had what I thought was a lock in the future division pick. Well, hell, I'd shit the bed bad on that one.
You remember you told me that earlier.
Oh my god!
Wasn't a good one for you?
I thought for sure the Saints win the division. Thought they had the best team. I didn't think the Buccaneers were going to do anything with Baker Mayfield. I didn't think the Falcons were going to do anything. I had the Jaguars winning the division. Don't know what happened to Trevor Lawrence or what happened to them, but they're dead to me. The Bengals forgot how to play offense for like the first 2 months of the game, and then Burrow gets hurt. Yeah, not good for me. Not good for me. No. I did pick the Bills correct. So,
I had the Bills.
I had the Niners. I had the Chiefs. Yeah.
I had Niners, Chiefs, Eagles.
Yeah, and I had the Bengals. So, yeah.
I had the Bengals to make the playoffs on, but I did not have them win.
I had the Bengals to win the division, but then the Ravens ended up getting the fucking #1 seed. So, like,
I don't remember if I had anybody on that division. I think I stayed away from it. I think I had both the Niners and Ravens to make playoffs, but I don't think I had anybody on that division.
Yeah. And then I had a futures for the awards too. And I believe all three of those are not going to pan out. I had obviously Josh Allen to win the MVP.
I had Burrow.
That's not going to happen. Yeah. I had, I think it was Dan Campbell to win Coach of the Year, which could, I guess, technically still happen. Probably.
Yeah.
And
could. Probably should have.
Micah Parsons to win Defense Player of the Year.
Probably gotta be Myles Garrett. It doesn't make any sense. You what? But hey, whatever.
It's one of the two.
NFL hates white guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish up here. Obviously, with a